Goldilocks is one of the most affordable stainless steel cookware brands. But is it the best value, and what does it lack that more expensive brands offer? In this review, I break down the pros and cons of Goldilocks cookware. You'll learn about its construction, design, and price. Plus, I'll show you how it performs against pans that cost 4 times as much. Let's get started. The first thing you'll notice when you pick up a Goldilocks pan is its solid construction. Each pan is made up of 3 bonded layers. The top layer of stainless steel is durable, non-reactive, and resistant to corrosion. The aluminum core conducts heat fast and evenly, and the magnetic steel exterior layer makes these pans compatible with all cooktops, including induction. The 12-inch fry pan weighs 3.3 pounds, and the walls are 2.8 millimeters thick, giving the cookware a durable and sturdy feel without being too heavy. When you compare these specs to other more expensive brands like All-Clad and Made In, there's not much of a difference. They're made of the same materials and are roughly the same thickness and weight. Besides its solid, fully clad construction, Goldilocks cookware has several design elements that make it stand out. The exterior is polished and shiny, the rims are flared for easy drip-free pouring, and the cooking surface is large. The flat part of the 12-inch pan's cooking surface is 9.5 inches, which is plenty of room to cook 2 large ribeye steaks, 3 to 4 chicken breasts, or 3 pieces of salmon. But the design element I like the most about Goldilocks is the handle. It's slightly curved on the bottom with a shallow groove on top for your thumb. It's comfortable to hold and easy to control. Rounded handles like the ones on Hexclad and Sardell pans can rotate in your hand and slip. With Goldilocks' design, your grip won't slip when tilting the pan or pouring liquids. I've been testing Goldilocks' 12-inch skillet for several months, and it heats up fast and retains heat well. I've used it to sear meat, saute vegetables, and even cook eggs. Although stainless steel cookware is notorious for sticking, if you preheat the pan and grease it well, eggs will slide right off. Here's a look at this pan cooking a pancake from start to finish. I preheated the pan for a minute or 2, greased it with butter, and poured in the batter. Once the top started to bubble, I flipped it over. As you can see, it browned nice and evenly and didn't stick at all. To see how Goldilocks compares to other much more expensive brands, I tested it head-to-head against the All-Clad copper core 12-inch pan. For this test, I prepared several chicken cutlets with the same seasoning and breadcrumbs. I also preheated the pans for the same amount of time and used the same amount of oil. As you can see, both pans did a nice job browning the chicken. However, the All-Clad pan has a copper middle layer, and since copper has a higher thermal conductivity than aluminum, it conducts heat faster. I had to turn the heat lower on All-Clad's burner to prevent the breadcrumbs from burning. The Goldilocks pan held its heat nice and steady, and none of the pieces overcooked. In the end, the chicken came out great in both pans. But the point is that the All-Clad pan, which costs significantly more, didn't provide any obvious benefits, at least not in this test. Heat retention is an important attribute for stainless steel pans. You want a pan that maintains a steady temperature and stays hot when you add cold ingredients. To see how well Goldilocks retains heat, I conducted a simple test. After bringing 2 cups of water to a boil, I removed the pan from the heat and let it cool. After 5 minutes, the water was 122 degrees Fahrenheit. After 10 minutes, the water was 102 degrees. I conduct this test with all the cookware I review, and as you can see in the results, Goldilocks retains heat better than much more expensive brands like Heston, Sardell, DeMeyer, and Viking. Goldilocks cookware has similar construction, design, and performance as brands like All-Clad, but it costs significantly less. For example, this 12-inch pan is only $60, and their largest cookware set, which includes 2 saucepans, 2 skillets, a stock pot, and 3 lids, only costs $225. For comparison, the All-Clad copper core pan I showed earlier costs nearly $300 on allclad.com. Even All-Clad's more affordable collections like D3 cost significantly more. Goldilocks keeps prices low by manufacturing in China, selling directly to consumers on their simple website, and not spending a ton of money on advertising. They also have a limited selection of essential pots and pans, so they can manage inventory closely and avoid waste. Now that you know what I like about this cookware, let's talk about the downsides. The handles are 8 inches long, but only 5.5 millimeters thick. I like the flat design because it prevents the handle from rotating when you tilt the pan, but I wish it was a little thicker. There's not much to grab onto, especially if you're wearing an oven mitt. If you have large hands, these handles might feel too slim. Another issue is rainbow stains. When you heat stainless steel cookware to high temperatures, trace amounts of chromium in the steel create a thick oxidized layer that reflects light at a different wavelength. This results in a splotchy rainbow stain that is sometimes referred to as heat tint. While this is common in stainless steel cookware, I noticed it a bit more with Goldilocks. Fortunately, it's a pretty easy fix. Just rinse it with diluted vinegar and give it a good scrub. Goldilocks offers all the essential pots and pans, but doesn't have certain sizes that are sometimes nice to have. They only offer a 12-inch skillet, a 10-inch skillet, a 1.5 quart saucepan, a 3-quart saucepan, and an 8-quart stock pot. But if you want a 6-quart stock pot, an 8-inch skillet, or specialty items like a wok, you need to buy it from another brand. Another downside worth mentioning is that Goldilocks doesn't have a long track record. It launched in 2018 as Potluck and rebranded to Goldilocks in 2021. A rebrand so soon in a company's life could be a red flag about its stability. Similarly, their website lacks information about their manufacturing process and the materials used. I had to email the company to confirm the materials for this review. Even the product pages have a minimal amount of information with no details about the quality or performance of the cookware. Other brands like Heritage Steel provide detailed insights into their materials and manufacturing process. There is also no customer service phone number to call, only an email address. In my opinion, they could do a better job building trust and selling their product, especially since my testing proved its performance is on par with much more established brands. This cookware is only available online on cookgoldilocks.com, so you can't pick it up and look at it in person before buying. You can return the product within 30 days of purchase, but it would be nice to be able to hold it before buying it. So is Goldilocks cookware the best stainless steel cookware for the money? The fact is, it's made of the same materials and has a very similar design as brands that cost significantly more. It heats evenly and retains heat well, and its handle design is comfortable and secure. And based on my testing, it performs on par or even exceeds more costly options in areas like heat retention. The main downside of this brand is that it's unproven. It's a relatively new company with a small staff, no customer service number, and only a few years of history. Ultimately, the product itself is excellent, and if you're willing to take a risk on a startup, the low price makes it a great value. If you're ready to buy, I'll link to Goldilocks' website in the video description. Those are affiliate links, so I'll earn a commission if you click and buy, but at no extra cost to you. If this was helpful, check out this video where I highlight the best stainless steel cookware brands after testing over 30. And don't forget to click the logo to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.